salute. Sorry for the delay, man. I apologize. I had some technical difficulties trying to start my computer. That wasn't working. I apologize, but I had to put, some things together. But we here, man. It's not going to be a too long stream, man. I just want to tap in with you guys, man. We got some interesting things to talk about. Mohamed Diawara, talk about a little bit on the game. I want to do some film review. And I did not make this show, I did not make this video monetized. So I could show as many videos. I could show as much the goodness like I like, man. And this is just one of these chill ones, man. I know I'm only going to have 5 people watching. That's cool. It is what it is. But I want to talk about some film stuff. I want to talk about all of it. You know what I'm saying, man? Let me just set up a few things. Who's about in the chat? I apologize. Gotta talk about this Mohamed Diawara, man. Is Mohamed Diawara the next Jeremy Lin? Now, everybody knows that Jeremy Lin, obviously, he got his coming with the Knicks back in, what was it, 12-13, 11-12, 12-13. No, 12-13 was when we went to the playoffs. I think it's 13-14, right? It was a year after we went to the playoffs versus the Pacers. Remember, Melo got hurt, blasey, right? And then can I put this over here? Let me see if that works. Maybe that works a little bit better. I'm trying to get it to where, this is not in the way of some of these slides. And I actually got to stop some of these slides. Slides are just moving. But yeah, Jeremy Lin was a player Knicks were looking to retain, I think, for 3 years. 3 years, was it? At around like $5 million per. But Daryl Morey, Mr. Daryl Morey, thinking that he could, basically build up the interest in China or from China, from all of Asia, and basically use that as a springboard, right? Or not say springboard, that's not the right way to, because the Rock has always been a respected franchise for the most part. But I think that, he was trying to use it as a way to truly dominate the dominate viewership from APAC, Asia Pacific, China and whatnot. So, and I think to me it flopped, right? He just did not fit with James Harden. Got exposed. I think he got exposed versus the Heat, but it was a situation where they were able to offer Jeremy Lin a lot more because the Knicks we just didn't want to go over the salary cap. Now, obviously, things were a little bit different back then, but the Knicks just couldn't make the money work, and so they gave Jeremy Lin, was a 5-year first year, 5-year second year, and then $15 million. Or I think it hit 14 million by like the third year. But by that time, he was already traded. He was already traded to the freaking the Lakers. So it was a flop on their part, but obviously it took a really good asset away from the Knicks. But Mohamed Diawara is an up-and-coming player. And I got to give credit to him. I wasn't the biggest believer in him. And again, his numbers don't pop. I just think that some of his complimentary play and what he's been working on, how he fits his team, definitely bodes well. So I got to give credit to Walt Perrin. Got to give credit to Leon Rose. Got to give credit, obviously, all praises due. I'm not praising him, but all praises, salute to the chief, Brock Aller, because he's running the things here with the Knicks. Let me just say, give a shout out to some of you guys, man. Salute to my guy, Rafi in the building, Bricks Nation, Ernesto the Texto. Salute. Yes. We're going to get to that, bro. We're going to get to that, man. I want to do more of this content where we talk about this because the math is very interesting. It's fun to actually go through this some of this stuff math-wise, but we need to sign him no matter what. Well, you got to be careful because that no matter what, I don't know if you want to go over this, can't go over this, to sign him. He says he's going to be restricted. He's going to be restricted free agent. We do have his non-bird rights because there's only 1 year. He was under control of the Knicks, so we do have his non-bird rights. Let me get to that real quick. Teams with cap space going to screw us over by offering. Well, let's talk about it. There's going to be teams out there that I don't think that they're going to have the cap space, but do they really want to sign this guy? I'm going to go through because we're going to go through what is known as the Gilbert Arenas rule. Something that came up in the chat to the Knicks chat that I'm in Twitter. The Gilbert Arenas rule. Obviously, Gilbert Arenas back in the day, drafted out of Arizona, was a head case, so he got drafted in the second round by the Golden State Warriors. He put up some points. I think his rookie year, he put up was it rookie or second year? He put up 19 and 6 assists. He's killed for Warriors, right? He was a guy came and essentially he just left. He went to the Wizards. Warriors didn't have the cap space to retain him. The Wizards were able to offer him, what was it, 60 for? Is it 60 for 6? Contract with Wizards. It was. Am I bugging out? He got 111 million. Why not? No, but his first contract, not the second contract. What was the first contract? Wizards from Warriors. I think it was 6 for 60, right? Yeah, 6-year deal, 60 to 65 million. Back in the day, Warriors couldn't match it because of salary constraints, and so the NBA moved towards creating this provision called the Arenas provision, which allowed the original home team to re-sign a player, retain a player, excuse me, at a higher salary. Let me shoot to a few guys, man. Restricted. I don't know why Leon Rose inside. Well, it's tough because he's a 51st pick. Let's be honest. Look, Mohamed Diawara has turned out to be a decent surprise for Knicks. Is he tearing? Is he killing it? Is he tearing? No. But what he does, he can space the floor, he can defend. You can play small with him. Something that we saw, I think it was against the Spurs when they took him out and they had no Cat, no Brunson. The Knicks, definitely struggled. They got it down to like a 9-point deficit for the Spurs. But to sit here and say, oh, we should have offered. Only thing I would say is that maybe we offer him, say, a 2-year. But how many second round picks truly pan out? Like, I would probably say the hit rate's probably 20% of second, probably even less than that actually hit, that become legitimate rotational players. Forget stars. I'm talking about legitimate rotational players in the league. So I don't kill this organization for doing that. And again, when you watch his game overseas, bro, Mohamed Diawara was not efficient. He was missing shots. He's flash here and there, but you know how many players flash here and there? You can't sit there and say, oh, we should give him a 2-year deal. Unproven, right? I understand why they gave Kolek that, because Kolek had a run with Marquette. I think it was 2 years with Marquette. Right? Had you won the first round of the tournament, lost in the second round. But there's a body of work that says, okay, at least there's something that I can go by in terms of what he can provide in the NBA. And I still think Tyler Cole is going to be a fine player in this league. Just Alvarado provides a little more in the short term. But Mo D to sit up here, look, we can't do hindsight because, again, Mo D was not this. He wasn't projecting to be this guy to savior like that, right? Like AJ Mitchell, I would have been like, all right, we didn't give this guy a contract, but he said he's only 19, 20, he needs to improve his handle. I agree. Pascal was like the Maw extension training you get there. Yeah, Pascal spent time with the 703, 704, whatever you call them, the Raptors G League team. He spent time owning his craft he played alongside Van Vliet. He played under Jerry Stackhouse, so I think he's gonna be a fine coach in the NBA once he gets his opportunity. So there's a lot of development that went with a Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam could have been just as raw. And could have probably missed out on opportunities and chances, but obviously a team took a chance on him. I think Masai was also relatively high, but he needed some refinement. So, and that's something that Diawara is not necessarily getting. I don't think as much as Pascal got with the Raptors. If you're gonna give me Diawara jersey, get your jersey, man. Get the milky ones, the kit jerseys, the cream color one. I got one. Whew, that jersey's pretty. He seems to be the wing we need. I agree. Explain. I'm not sure. I apologize. I may be a little bit too late. I don't know if you're talking to me. Jimmy, you think Knicks find a way to keep Alvarado? Alvarado has a play option. Yeah, he has a play option for $4.5 million. I do think they try to find a way to keep him. Now, the salary cap for the Knicks does go down. And I had a whole... Where did I keep... Damn. I had a whole NBA cap spaces. The Knicks cap... We will have like $17 million next year. I think this is assuming Alvarado doesn't get re-signed. So we got a lot of players that we have to try to find a way, or we may try to find a way to retain. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson is the big elephant in the room. He's getting paid $12 million. Genius from Brock Aller, but it does, in terms of future planning, puts a little bit of a screw in there because I think he signed at $15 million per or annum. But then, Brock Aller, who's a genius, gets it down to having, he has these descending contracts, which is great. But it kind of leaves us in a weird position now where you pay Mitch Robinson $15 million, do you pay him more? And salute to the Knicks machine, the propaganda machine, because you saw reports out there saying, oh, does Mitchell Robinson, or the Knicks only team that sees Mitchell Robinson as worth more than $15 million, blah blah blah. Which look, to the Knicks he probably does, because when Mitchell Robinson's healthy, he's a difference maker, but he's just been injured. He's not reliable in terms of. Do you give this guy $20 million when he's basically going to be a half a year regular season player and you save him for the playoffs? So salute to the Knicks propaganda machine for putting it out there talking about Mitchell Robinson so his age can act as his age is talking to other teams, but to put out the idea that other teams are also valuing Mitchell Robinson just to try to see if they could drive down the Knicks negotiation numbers. But yeah, I got the numbers for the cap space for next season. And the Knicks at this point, we are 5th in terms of cap space. Why am I looking at this wrong? 26-27. Why am I looking at this wrong? So we have, so we got 205 million under the cap. Next season we will be under the apron. Why? I had to print a whole. Oh, man, son. I put out a whole nother sheet. And I got some notes on it, but I have a whole bunch of notes in my book. But yeah, we're gonna be over the first apron, but over the first apron, under the second apron. And there's a few of us, right? Pacers, Knicks, Lakers, Heat, Bucks, Wolves, Pelicans, 76ers, Suns, Blazers, Kings, Spurs, Raptors, Hawks, Jazz, Celtics, Hornets, Bulls. There's a bunch of us. But let's get to it. So, because I'm going to get to this, I'm going to talk about some of the teams who could be going after a Mohamed Diawara. But after we go over the Gilbert Arenas clause, it's not gonna look too attractive for several teams. So let me go through this slide again. Suits everybody in the chat, man. I apologize for being late. Can we get a Mohamed Diawara version of Mo Bamba? Yo, bro, you know it's bad when dudes start making, even though Mo Bamba was a cool song. It's tough, man, because first of all, the song seemed like it had nothing to do with Mo Bamba, but it was just the beat and the flow was tough. I don't know, Sage. I don't know. I'm a little scared when people be making some of these songs, man. Only people I trust is Jay Boogie. If it's not Jay Boogie created, let's go, Diawara. See you tomorrow. All right. Thank you. He said, I thought second round picks get held by the team for 4. Yes. All right. Let me get to it. Since I'm in the chat, I apologize, Craig. Ricardo Kuser, Janky, Menez, salute. Get up there, man. Man. Don't better bust out that. Man, I don't know, son. All right. Let me get to the damn. Having more people than I expected, but to tell you guys, man, I thought it was gonna be a boring ass show, man. Go through something. So, all right, let's go through the first slide. So, again, Mohamed Diawara's contract options for 2020. Well, for 2026-27. So, the Knicks do own his non-bird rights, given that he's a second rounder, or given the fact they own him for 1 year. He's coming back to be to the negotiation tables for a new contract. The Knicks do own his non-bird rights, so the Knicks can offer him a contract at 120% of his current contract, which is $1.273 billion. Could get it to $1.53 million. This is also assuming. Granted, the Knicks want to do this and also stay under the cap, under the second apron. They're trying to, right? You don't want to go over the cap for a guy. No offense to like a Diawara, but or have that feed it and you have to go over the second apron. But they're trying to do this. They're trying to get this. He'll get paid. He'll get paid the full bird rights after this. So, and why is it when I do slides, why my slides always be looking so janky, bro? Why do my slides be looking janky? Hypothetical. It create a whole nother slide. So yeah, after whatever contract he has now, the Knicks would then own his full bird rights, right? And this is thinking down the line, right? Hopefully Diawara, if the Knicks resign and becomes that type of player, they own his full bird rights. But yada yada yada. That's not the fun part, right? So let's move on to the second slide. So interestingly enough. And by the way, let me make sure this is the proper slide because I had them all ordered. So this is the second one. This is the second one. All right, let me see that. Oh, yeah, all right. What the fuck? My bad, y'all. Why is it going backwards? Am I bugging out? No. Why is it going backwards? Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Let me... Okay, yeah. Can the Knicks retain Diawara? I don't know what's happening with my slides. They're all ordered the right way. When I press forward, it does something crazy. Can the Knicks retain Diawara? Okay, mainly applies to second rounders. And a draft is where we talk about the Gilbert Arenas rule. Has been used in the past for guys like Jordan Clarkson. And like I said, Jeremy Lin being signed by the Raptors. The Lakers use it to re-sign Jordan Clarkson. And again, it really gets used because there are not many... Think about it, it's not many second rounders who come off these really short-term deals and then they're that type of player. Right, so where you're offering these big contracts, so that's why I was talking about when we talk about the Gilbert Arenas rules. Like you don't really see this being utilized a lot, right? Because there's a major jump we're gonna get to. It's the poison pill part. The same thing happened with Jeremy Lin, right? An original team has to be able to cover the average annual value of the deal. That's where the dangerous part comes in, right? You're talking about a team that's typically gonna be in some type of constraints, right? Or in this, let me not say typically, but you're talking about a team in the Knicks is going to be held by these constraints, right? Another team could come in as they could offer Diawara a sizable contract, and the Knicks have to be able to cover the average amount of that contract for the 4 years. Again, you could offer a 4-year contract to Diawara using this rule, right? And so why are my freaking slides messed up? This doesn't make sense. Why are my slides like this? This is bugging me out, bro. So I'm getting pissed. Why are my slides like this? Anyway, it doesn't even matter. It's getting me pissed. All right, so essentially how it works. 4-year deal. The first year of that deal, you can offer the max that another team can offer Diawara is the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. This is something that we just recently used to sign Yabu Booty. And he got paid, was it $5 million, right? So you can offer the max. On the max, it's typically, it'll be for next year, it'll be 9.12% of next year's salary cap. Next year's salary cap is around, I have my whole book. Where's my book? The salary cap is expected to be $166 million. Yo, give me 2 seconds. I gotta get my book. Go my notes. Where the hell is my book? That is crazy, bro. I just lost my whole note. All right, here it is. They can sign them at. Now my calculator, everything. They can sign. The first year, another team can offer Diawara up to that non-taxpayer mid-level exception. Again, how the taxpayer exceptions work? If you're over the first apron, you could utilize either your non-taxpayer or mid-level, or taxpayer mid-level exception. Taxpayer mid-level exceptions typically lower, or it is lower than the non-taxpayer MLE. And obviously below that, you can use other exceptions if you're below the first apron. Unfortunately, Knicks are above the first apron, so we have to use these taxpayer mid-level exceptions. Now, the second year, you can now increase. So again, if you're looking at, I wouldn't use Diawara's contract. Just let's use the taxpayer mid-level the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. You can offer Diawara by that number I just used, $166 million for next year as a projected salary cap, multiplied it by 9.12%, you get around $15.14 million, right? Next year, the second year, you can offer Diawara, it can increase by 5%. So that 5% goes to $15.9 million. Then the third year, and sorry, my bad, I'm using the wrong. Let me go to the right slide so you guys could follow. That third year is where the poison pill. What the fuck? That third year is where the poison pill comes into play, right? Now a team, and this is where it's to help benefit the player, get the player paid. Now you can offer the player the maximum level for a player with less than I think is less than 1 year of service in the NBA, right? And this is applying to. I'm just trying to calculate the max level, right? And so I had it here. Why are my slides fucked up? So again, when we get to the maximum contract level, is going to be 25% of the salary cap back when you initially sign them to this new deal. So it'll be whatever we sign them for 2020. It'll be the salary cap of 2026-27, right? You get 25% of that deal. And then for that third year, you multiply that value, right? That 25% times the salary cap, you multiply it by 5% times 2, right? Because you're adding up for the 2 years. And you can only do this if there are no incentives offering a contract, is fully guaranteed, and you hit the max that you can offer Diawara for 2 years, first year and the second year. So you get to this maximum value for year 3, which will again be the 25% times the salary cap of that original year, that first year of the contract you gave to him. And then the 5% increases based off that original value. That's $41.5 million you offer from Diawara, which is absurd. And then the year 4, you can offer Diawara a 4.5% increase from that year 3 contract. What the? Why are my slides messed the fuck up? Golly, what the? Yo, OBS, yo, I know my computer. You don't like me. It's cool. Stop it. I set this all up. The slides are ordered and it's going out of whack. Stop it. Goodness gracious. But essentially, that's why Diawara is a little bit. He said, Gmo, we want to hear numbers, not nerd facts. I'm giving y'all the numbers. So the number, okay, so 15, so here it is. He said nerd facts. So right here, you see the breakdown. First year, you can offer Diawara 15. Another team can offer Diawara 15.1 million. Second year, 15.9 million. The year after that, 45.65 million, and then 47.7 million in year 4. But this is where the benefit. Who the hell is gonna offer Diawara this type of money? Now, people say, well, the teams and blah blah blah. Like I said, there are only several teams out there who would have the capacity. It's actually very limited. Now, a team that can come back and screw us over, right? And this would be scary. To be a bum ass team like the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets right now are under the cap. The Brooklyn Nets and the Grizzlies, they have no trade restrictions, no buyout restrictions. Right now for 2026 to 27, the Brooklyn Nets, they have the second highest amount in terms of cap space to the salary cap to the aprons. It's a team that, if they wanted to screw us over, could offer Diawara that bag. But do they really want to be tied to Diawara at 41 million? 41 effing million by year 3 with Diawara, who right now is only averaging, again, 3 points, 1.2 rebounds, 0.6 assists, 44% for the field, 39.8% from 3. But again, it's still very much so a bit player for the Knicks. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening with most teams, but the Nets can come in and screw us over. And the Knicks can't do anything with that. We're not re-signing Diawara. Mind you, that 15.1 million, you taking the 17 million the Knicks have in space for next year. That means no Mitchell Robinson. That means no Shamit. That means no your man Jose Alvarado. Right? We would be absolutely screwed pulling off that deal for Diawara. I just can't see too many teams doing that. The Grizzlies right now, right? And they have a bunch of young players too, the Grizzlies, that they got to decide what the hell they want to do it, right? Guys like freaking G.G. Jackson and whatnot. But I can't see them offer Diawara that. Some other teams, again, teams are over, but they're over the cap. They're over the cap. They're over the cap. So obviously teams like the Knicks are gonna be over the cap. Like I said, the Hawks, but they have way too many wings. That's a team that's looking to try to make a playoff push. I don't think they're gonna be spending major money on a guy like him when they just got Kuminga. They got Jalen Johnson. They're good at the forward position. Even though they can use shooters, but you're not paying a guy like Diawara $15 million to come and join your team, and he's gonna be what, 4th, 5th on the depth chart. Celtics, I can't see them doing it. They've been trying to break up that luxury tax team for some time now, at least for the last year and a half. Other teams, the Bulls, they're all over the place. They have a bunch of young players. I can't see them offering a Diawara that type of contract. Spurs not going to touch that. The Kings, they're looking to shed some contracts. So again, the Knicks we benefit from this Gilbert Arenas rule. I just can't see too many teams using it. And again, the rule is hardly utilized. This is why, and at first I got mad at the team for doing this. He said, damn man, you need prep time. No, it's just my computer's acting stupid, bro. Literally everything is set up here, bro. But there's a reason why the Knicks I think they weren't playing Diawara too many minutes. Now, I don't necessarily agree with it. I think it's some bullshit. But there's probably a reason why they weren't playing Diawara. They were making sure, let's pull this guy back because we made a mistake in their eyes by not re-signing this guy to a multi-year deal after he flashed a little bit, right? Getting pulled 18 points in 18 minutes, extremely efficiently versus the Pelicans. Let's pull him back, right? And I do think it hurts the team a little bit, but in a business sense, I almost get it. That's why they're putting so much pressure. I don't say pressure, but that's why guys like Mikal Bridges, some of these other players, they have to step up because it's like, yo, we can't overexpose this player because we don't want it to reach where Diawara is basically taking over Mikal Bridges' role. Which I don't know if it's gonna get to that extreme, but knowing these guys, Brock Ollie on Rose, they want to keep this guy under wraps, right? So there's gonna be a fine line. It's just okay. How much does Diawara get? Again, we could offer Diawara that 120 million. I just don't know if when I talk about the give it a reason, I'm talking about maxes. Another team could come in and give him something that's $5 million per. Can the Knicks match that? $5 million. That's $5 million off the books for 2 hours. Well, given how Brock Ollie likes, he may backload the deal. This situation, Tibby likes to front load the deal, but he might backload it just to buy some time, buy some space before we get into the second apron. Right, I just don't know if there are going to be a lot of teams who are going to be knocking on the door and trying to offer your man Diawara 15 per and then jump to 41 million by that second season. He's not putting up Gilbert Arenas stats. He's not even putting Jordan Clarkson stats when he was with the Lakers. So I do think Knicks get some reprieve. I don't think he said the most that's not happened. The most I see is another team offering 10 million. And at that point, we'd be screwed over. But you have to truly like Diawara to even offer him that. When I watch Diawara, as much as I think he fits, he's complimentary to this team right now. He's a 3-and-D player for the most part. He's still fairly stiff paws in terms of how he attacks the basket, in terms of his movement toward the basket, in terms of his dribble. Right, he's a 3-and-D type of guy. He spaces the floor fine. I think he hit some nice clutch shots for the Knicks. He was 4 for 13 yesterday against the Spurs. But I just don't see it happening. So overall, I don't think we have a Jeremy Lin situation. I don't think, where's he from? He's French. I don't think there's a pull by the NBA to try to look for French players. I don't think there's a market out there right now in the U.S. where they're really advertising, really pushing towards the French players, like Houston's trying to push the Asian players when they took Jeremy Lin, right? And back then, Jeremy Lin, I think he was getting $5 million for the first 2 years, and then $14 million by the third year. I just don't see. Again, it's different times right now, and I think the salary cap back then was $58 million. It was $58 million back then, $58.044 million. Back in 13-14 or 12 or 13-14, right? Totally different times. I understand money is moving. These guys are making a lot more money. That's not going to happen, bro. Let me see. He said Gmo hit the numbers. The Nets, yeah, I don't see the Nets doing it. Now, the Nets have our draft picks. And the Nets have been terrible. Or they haven't been great with their draft picks. Nolan Traore and Esmond Demine, whatever his name is. Could they pull that off to make us pissed? I mean, Diawara would have to have a ridiculous run in the playoffs, I think, for the Nets to truly become enamored and offer Diawara a monster contract and give him the maxes, like I mentioned with the Gilbert Arenas rule. They would have to truly fall in love or do that to try to screw us over, right? I just don't see that. It's just that they've been so shit with the draft picks, bro. But at this point, I can't see again. There's very limited teams. Teams are over the first apron. It was 210 million. This is actually slightly wrong because the Knicks are over the first apron too. So what the hell is this? Why is it showing the Knicks here? Anyway, the Cavaliers, Nuggets, and the Magic. Our teams are over the first apron. The Magic need shooters badly. But, I mean, they got guys like Jet Howard, obviously Desmond Bane. They traded a bunch of draft picks for him. I don't think they want to load up on a contract like Diawara just to be kind of a role player. I think I can't say they're going to be a threat, but if they move on from Paolo somehow, trade him, I mean, they'll be bringing back money on the other end. But still, even then, it's like they wouldn't need a Diawara. I actually could see the Nets trying to do something stupid. The Nets don't have a splash. The Nets don't really have anything to build off. If Diawara has a ridiculous run through players, I can see the Nets doing some real D-head-ish like that. They have the cap space. They can play around. They can just be a miser to the Knicks. That'll probably be the end of Sean Marks in Jersey because he wouldn't be taken seriously anymore. But yeah, teams like OKC, they're over the second apron. Don't worry about them. Other teams, the Wolves, no. 76ers, no. Blazers, no. Suns, nah. Kings, like I said, they're trying to shut off contracts. Sabonis, $46 million. You got freaking DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, who's injured again. I don't think bringing in big money like that. They looking to shut off contracts. The Wizards, Here's an interesting scenario. If Tom Thibodeau joined the Wizards, would he pull off a move like that? Because people put on social media like, yo, with Tom Thibodeau like a Diawara type, I actually think he would have liked the Diawara type. He plays a position, his role, even though limited, fit relatively well. Doesn't get in the way, doesn't need a lot of usage, defends, plays tough. I think he's a good listener. Seems to be gelling well with some of the elders when they're talking to pull him aside. So if Tom Thibodeau took over the Wizards next year, I don't know how, well, you got Trae Young, but you have a team that needs discipline. If they get the discipline down packed, could Tom Thibodeau do some real D-head-ish? But then you have guys like Coulibaly who you might have to pay down the line. Or not might have to pay. I think you're looking to extend a guy like Coulibaly. Or at least maybe, I don't know. Alex Sarr, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of him, he is improving. So maybe not. But that's a team, wherever Tom Thibodeau goes, I wonder if... but he didn't... Only thing is that Tom Thibodeau didn't draft Diawara. It's not like a Chris Dunn situation. Or not Chris Dunn, like a Jimmy Butler situation. Right? And Jimmy Butler was a player. Jimmy Butler's levels above a Diawara type. So I'm just trying to think of the teams that would try to go after Diawara who do some real D-head-ish. And the only team I can really think of would be those Nets. And it wouldn't be because of basketball reasons. It'll be a way to try to disorient the Knicks, try to destabilize us. Let me see, Bricks Nation. I still have my Frank jersey. Yeah, I better hold off and buy a Diawara. Yo, I only team I really think of is the Nets, bro. No, I don't agree with you, Donald Canyon, bro. I don't agree, man. Omar Mokhtar, my brother, said, yeah, I think Mitch is going, especially if they burn out in the playoffs. Well, where's Mitch? Okay, let's be honest. Give me the other teams that are giving Mitchell Robinson $17 million a year, and he's going to be often injured. I think sometimes certain plays they play better under their original teams or the teams that they've truly blossomed under versus going to another team and trying to fit in other situations, right? And Mitchell Robinson doesn't play too specialized of a role that he couldn't be a plug-and-play player. Put it like this. Look at freaking, granted, the OKC Thunder, they're looking for a center now. They paid $29 million to Isaiah Hartenstein to kind of steady the ship, get them the rebound they needed, some of the so-called toughness they needed in the paint. And now they're looking for another center. I know it's to get under a smaller price point. Actually, you know what? Maybe it could be done. Mitchell Robinson could go over to OKC. Now they're in the second apron. Or they will be in the second apron by next season. They got to move on from some players. Right now, OKC will have $250 million under the cap next season. The threshold for the second apron is $223 million. Over the second apron? Is this right for this year? Yeah, I think so. Hold on. 2026, 2027, second apron. Yeah, it's first apron. Yeah, that's 2027, 28. Let me see, 26, 27. Yeah, OKC. They're going to be $28 million above. They're going to be $28 billion above the second apron. They're going to be 28, and that's basically Isaiah Hartenstein's contract. And he has a player option next year. So then you'd have to try to trade that contract. But who the hell is going to take a $29 million player option with Isaiah Hartenstein? Us? You know, we got the switch. You're going to be hard cap at Isaiah Hartenstein coming at $29 million. You have to give back. We'd have to give back the contracts. So I guess you wouldn't be second. You wouldn't be hard capped. Can you trade with Mitch Robinson? Can you sign and trade? I'm not sure if you can sign and trade if you're over the first apron. You can resign a player over the first apron. Be acquired. Okay, you can acquire a player using a sign and trade, but you can't aggregate contracts when you're over the first apron. So it'd be impossible. We don't have a $29 million player. Right, Josh is making 20, and then there's a big jump after that. Right, McCaw's making 33 or something like that. So you have to go one for one when you're above the first apron. So yeah, right now we can't trade for Isaiah Harris. They can't trade Mitchell Robinson, or they can't pick up Mitchell Robinson, and they'll be stuck. So they're kind of screwed for next season anyway. But I'm just thinking of what are other teams out there is going to offer Mitchell Robinson 20 per. Now you look at some of the teams that can use a center. Obviously OKC, but they're out of the question. The Grizzlies, but they're rebuilding, so why would you sign Mitchell Robinson to that type of contract? The Cavaliers picking up Mitchell Robinson, but it had to be a sign and trade, right? And Jared Allen's making what, 20? Is he making 25 million, 20 to 25 million? I don't want a Jared Allen. I'm just thinking of, and I think Jared Allen has one more year. Jared Allen should be a contract that should be nearing its end when he came over from the Brooklyn Nets. And Jared Allen right now, I take that back. He got money on the books. I take that back. He came over. I thought he got extended. I take that back. He got extended at 100, right? 100 per? Sorry, 100 for 4. Damn, he got numbers. 28 million, 30 billion next year, then 32 million the year after that. 28 next year, 30 million the year after that, 32.4 million, 5 million the year after that. So, yeah, that's out the question. The Magic, Wendell Carter, Mo Wagner, they could probably use some, I can't say fresh legs, a little bit more. They love their defense. I just don't know. You pay Mitch Robinson $20 million for that Magic on that Magic's team. In Orlando, they're gonna be $7 million below the second apron. Is that a team that you? You also have to trade contract for contract, $20 million. For Mitch, they'd have to give a contract back of $20 million, and I'm not sure they have any players right now that I'd be interested in. Wendell Carter's making 18.1, but that's basically Cat's position, and then Jalen Suggs making 32. Golly, they extended him. Yeah, they don't got contracts that get trade back. Jonathan Isaac is making 14.5, but he's not making the $20 million that you need for Mitch. So I just don't know what the teams, bro. Hawks got a Kungwu. 76ers are stuck. The Heat could use Bam. I know they hate Khalil Weir. I just don't see many teams trading for a Mitchell Robinson contract. Just like I said, maybe the Lakers. Yo, bro, DeAndre Ayton is probably one of the worst signing. And mind you, the Lakers are the original team that wanted to take Mitchell Robinson, right? They want to draft Mitchell Robinson. The Lakers do have next year. They're gonna be $115 million. Obviously, you have to hit a floor, right? So they're gonna be $150 million under the second apron. Just look at some of the contracts. Obviously, LeBron James comes off the books, but Austin Reeves got a player option at 15.5. He's definitely not gonna stay there. You got DeAndre Ayton making $8.1 million. That's a player option. They can outright sign Mitchell Robinson. Shiza. Marcus Smart's coming off, $5.3 million, or could come off. He has a player option. Kobe Buffkin, they already put out his club option. You make a good point. Luka Doncic would love a pick and roll, run the floor partner. You also love the defense. You saw he got chewed out by JJ Redick the other day because he allegedly wasn't getting back on defense. The Lakers might sign. They might give the money. I did not realize the Lakers did not have nothing on their books for next year. And he got to spend because what is it, $120 million? You got to hit the floor, right? No, the floor is $149 million. Excuse me. They might sign Mitchell Robinson. Centers. I can see Mitch going to Lakers or the Warriors. They both defensive and need centers. Defensive centers. Need defensive centers. I like the defensive centers. I don't say centers. What the hell? If the Knicks trade for Giannis in the offseason, the Bucks will ask Mohamed Diawara to be part of the you have to sign and trade Diawara? Because right now, he'd be a free agent. He's a free agent next year. DeAndre Ayton is straight up ass. Straight anal, bro. Straight up anal. And when the trip, You need to draft another center. All right, you think it grows on trees? And we gotta start talking about draft too, man. We gotta talk about plays in the draft, man. My son Jaden Quintus is looking like some straight booty recently. Suits my brother, the game of life, man. Hopefully all is good with you. I did. The Cavaliers are stuck. I forgot. I could have sworn this dude when he came from the Nets. He signed like a 4-year deal. I didn't know he got extended. He's making guap now. I thought he had a 4-year deal for $100 million. Jared Allen. That's gonna try to fleece us. He has a team option, not gonna pick it up. Yeah, I think the Lakers. Yeah, it's gonna be a Lakers, bro. Donald Cannon, Lakers or the Nets. You're right. But Diawara, not to say I agree with it, but I see why they've been keeping D. Because the minutes made no sense. It made no sense to not be playing Diawara after some of these games he's having. He'll flash, you'll just take him out. Not playing for a game, and his numbers were janky. I'm like, this makes no sense. Right? And you heard nothing in the locker room. Everybody said that he works hard. Like, not everybody, but people said that he works hard. Tries to be a student, or not student, but he tries to take in what some of the players been saying. So I think the team in the league with the most on the line is supposed to be the Knicks and the Cavaliers. Knicks, Cavaliers. I think the Pistons have another year before teams take them seriously. I don't think they have the shooting. I watched the Magic's game yesterday, bro. The Magic could shoot. They would have beaten the Pistons. All the Pistons did was basically feed your man Tobias Harris in the corner for threes and played some good defense in the paint. Jalen Duren, who I'm still not a believer in, was doing a good job in the paint. I got to give him his credit, but Magic, that's not a team that's truly serious. But I do think you're right. I do think the Knicks, and then when you start making trades with guys like James Harden, you expedite it, you bring up these older players, they definitely have a clock on them. But I think the biggest pressure will be on the Knicks just because of, again, Jalen Brunson. That time the clock is ticking. He has 2-3 years before his play option kicks in. He's not gonna exercise that play option. He wants to get paid, rightfully so. So Knicks look, man, and then Cat will be coming off in the next few years. So it's the Knicks, and all the expectation right now, the Boston Celtics. Even though Jason Tatum talking about he's gonna come back and work out, bro. Or he's been questionable now. He's trying. Hey, whatever. It's freaking ridiculous. They already won a chip. I do think the pressure's off of them a little bit less, a lot less than the Knicks. Let me say. The 76ers they're not convinced. Y'all saw the 76ers game yesterday? Not terribly convinced. I do think that I can't say it's a wall. I want to say it's a wall per se. But yeah, in terms of carrying them through into the playoffs, I don't know. See, I think you see some struggles from guys. I need Edgecombe had like 23, but he overall he shot fairly poorly from the field. He shot like 30% or something like that from the field. A little bit less than that. He hit some threes though, but Edgecombe right now is he number 2. Look, Tyrese Maxey is steady as he's steady Eddie, steady as it goes. I don't know, but their supporting cast is weak, bro. Dominic Barlow had a decent game. That's not a guy you really go to. Freaking Kelly Oubre couldn't hit a shot yesterday. And then Andre Drummond, obviously with Embiid out, is just I don't think they have the health. They don't have the depth around them to truly carry them. So I think right now it's gonna be the Knicks. And I have to say I think the Cavs are. I even think the Cavs are number 2, put like that. But there's a lot of pressure on Knicks to win it. So that's my little breakdown on the Mohamed Diawara situation. Again, because of the Gilbert Arenas rule and what teams can offer in terms of the max. I don't think you're going to have too many gung-ho teams. Now, again, teams can offer him, $5 million, $6 million here and try to prime away from the Knicks. Knicks have to try and match that. And let me see one more thing. So fucking... Oh, see my language. So, look, man, if he likes playing here... Look, I know 1.5 million is not a lot. He can reject it. He can reject the deals from the other team, but again, it's a game, bro. It's all a game, and you're looking to get paid as long as you're healthy. You're looking to get paid because knock on wood, something bad happens to Mohamed Diawara. Who's going to truly be there to have his back and say, you know what? He was going to sign a $25 million deal someplace else, a $20 million deal someplace else. A $30 million deal someplace else, 4-year deal. let's make sure we do good by him. I just don't know. Now, the Knicks did that. First, going to be a whole bunch of freaking investigations, despite the fact that the rest of the league does some real grimy-ish. They said, what about Embiid's contract? He has some years on the contract, bro. He has some years on the contract, bro. And like I said, 2 years ago they should have tried to trade him off to the Hawks, but what do I know? So yeah, he has. Why these estimates? I guess a lot of incentives in his contract. So he has he has a player option in 28-29 at $67 million. Golly, he's making 58 this year and then or next year, excuse me, and then 62.7 million, excuse me, the year after that. This season he's making 55 million, 55.2 million. So nasty work. All right, man. Let's get to some film review, bro. I had an argument on Twitter. I had people gunning after me talking about, yo, you didn't believe in Luka Doncic. You said, and I'm like, bro, I wasn't hyped off the Luka Doncic train come out of Europe. And I even say I'd take some crow with this. The dude he's actually good. I give him credit. Oh, you wouldn't believe him? I'm like, yo, bro, I don't believe a lot of these players, bro. I've watched the game for too long. I've watched it where I've seen a lot of the Euro hype jobs. Remember Nikolai Tishvili? Remember these guys, bro? Jan Veezy's the next high flyer. Bro, I've been through it all, son. In terms of these Euro guys who don't pan out. It was a crazy influx of Euro guys who didn't pan out in the league back in the 2000s. Nikolai Tishvili, they didn't even have scouts watch him. He was word of mouth. So if people want to kill me, bro, go ahead, be my guest. I could give a fuck. And even now to this day, Luka Doncic, what does he do? What does everybody complain about Luka Doncic doing? Huh? What is everybody complaining about Luka Doncic doing? Don't get me wrong. Very good player. We'll never take that away from him. He's talented. Talented as F. The guy needs fouls to save his life, bro. I don't care what no one says. This guy lives off of fouls. If the ref doesn't give him a call, he's ready to curse somebody, he's ready to do all this. Bro, he ain't that. To me, I ain't overeating like some of y'all dudes do, bro. And I like Luka Doncic. Got with me a chip. He's slow. You could say he's slowing down too. Some of his explosive is slowing down too. And some of them get a good breakdown on social media. They put it on Twitter. I guess maybe it's a TikTok video or something like that. Talking about basically how Luka Doncic's moves have been getting like narrowed in terms of his abilities and whatnot. But and people, he killed me or he tried to kill me online about your man Wembyama. And I'm looking at Wembyama. Look, Wembyama, and I've said this time and time again. Let's not anoint these Euro players before they show they can dominate in this league. Please. No more of this bullshit. I'm tired of it. You got to show and prove. Let me tell you something. And I watch a good chunk of it, Wemby. Wemby has a lack of go-to moves, lack of counters. He falls in love with his three-point shot once he can't get to the basket versus an opponent. And I got to give it to the Knicks. Salute to Mike Brown. I'm not saying this is going to change around the season, but it was a great win for the Knicks. I got to give credit to Cat. Got to give credit to OJ Anunoby. Cat did a good job stepping up on Embiid. And dare I say, had masterful timing on his jump shots. And OG did a good job of trying to front him. I mean, it's almost difficult to try to front. There was one play at least he tried to front him, but Wemby not on him, but he did have that one. It was a reverse or whatever where he just caught him. OG trying to play him in the post. So I got to give a lot of credit to those guys. And I just want to show you some of these misses. Now let's watch this together, guys. Settle for a 3, miss. These are all most of his misses, right? Look at Wemby, hands it off. He's going to pick and pop. Mitchell Robinson does a decent enough job to close out. Don't have to jump into the dude. And look at Mitchell Robinson keeping his feet. Blessings. Wembyama becomes what? A glorified jump shooter. No fake and nothing, even though he did have 2 fakes in this game off the jump shots, one of them being on Mitchell Robinson. And give it up for Cat as well too, bro. Give it up. This Cat's best defensive play. Look at that by Cat. Look at that. Look, man. I give I put a lot of pressure on Cat to be a better player, bro. Look at look at this by Cat, bro. Look at this defense by Cat. Keeping his feet, letting it so that if Wemby, he's giving Wemby, cut off the baseline, which I don't understand why they don't do more of this in the NBA. I got told this in high school. My high school sucked, but it works defensively. Cut off a player's baseline. How can you can't beat if I'm leading you, if I'm funneling you into the paint, and I have help defense there, you're screwed. Why would I give you the base unless I have active enough guys who can close out and trap you in a baseline on some pack line defense ish? Why would I give you the base? I've seen for years the Knicks get killed in the baseline, giving these players the baseline. I don't know if that's a strategy. I don't know what it is, but I've seen Tom Thibodeau allow players to do. I just didn't get it. Cut this guy's baseline off. Cat gives his left shoulder, say, hey, you got it. If you want to drive, go and drive. We got help. We got Makal. We got OJ Anunoby. So good on Cat. And this guy goes for a contested. Look at Cat's positioning, man. Goodbye, Cat. Goodbye, Cat. Great defense by Cat, bro. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you. And again, Wemby went 10 for 17 yesterday, 25 points. On the surface, good numbers. Is Wemby a guy right now that you could say, and he's young. Let me preface this. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. Please. But at this point, he's not a guy that I can say he can truly take over a game, right, 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10. It's true. A lot of these plays have been set up to get him the ball. Remember, last year, they had to bring over Chris Paul. They had to trade some players away from the Spurs because they had all these young players who were not feeding Wemby. They had to feed him the ball to get the most out of him, which yes, the offense is built around Wemby. But it should never be that you have to service him the ball and get him the ball in his spots. Right? It should be, I don't say he's bringing down the ball, but it should be everything first and foremost goes through Wemby without you having to somehow force feed him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to put it. He should be the sun in this offense, if that makes sense. They said Diawara is an RFA. He can't be traded. Yeah, he can't move on the. He's on the TWRF. So again, OG doing a good job playing him in a post. Again, 5 seconds left to go. Knicks did a good job, and I gotta give credit to Knicks yesterday too. A lot of good rotations defensively by the Knicks, making the Spurs become 27.5% from 3. Knicks did a great job of making the Spurs have to push around the ball and take these contested jumpers. So again, it looks as if we've seen some flashes by the Knicks be able to master the ability to protect the paint and also protect the outside. And I have to give credit to Mike Brown. I'm not the biggest Mike Brown fan. Y'all know that. That's been something that the Knicks struggle with Tom Thibodeau. Now, granted, people say the minutes and the legs, and it's not necessarily a far-fetched idea, even though at times guys like IQ, even Jalen Brunson did a good job of rotating. My bad. So good on Mike Brown be able to, I won't say perfect, but get a lot more from the rotation. Now, granted, this has been a long time coverage of the season because we had games where we couldn't do either. Couldn't protect the paint. I don't care what the numbers say. And then we couldn't protect the outside, right? But the Knicks have been doing a way better job of protecting the outside the last several games. Let me see what you're saying, Donald King. He says, never mind, Gmo. You think other teams are going to use that strategy forward on him? Which strategy exactly? Funding him? Well, put it like this. Go back to the game we lost earlier this season. The last game we played against the Spurs. Cat was playing good defense on Wembayama. Every time Wembayama put the ball on the floor, the Knicks played good enough tag defense, right? You have a guy like Stephen Castle? Yeah, put Stephen Castle on the outside. You kick it back out to him. I'd rather have that and him trying to shoot threes on us than Wembayama get to the basket without any taggers, any help defense collapse on him. So I do think, I'm not saying Knicks have found, because look, if you look at his numbers, Wembayama actually has, on the surface, he actually has some great numbers against the Knicks. He's shooting terribly from outside, 33% from outside. He's shooting like 60% from the field, 72% true shooting against the Knicks. He's averaging like 28 points a game or something like that. But again, last game, Wembayama wasn't the guy who killed us. It was Julian Champagny. If Champagny hit 5 threes, which would have been a great game for him, we dominate the Spurs that game. Just think about that. Champagny could have hit 6 threes. We dominate them. So they've been very fortunate against the Knicks. But here again, you're seeing OG Anunoby in the post. Guard up. Look at Josh with the tag help. Beautiful by. Look at that. Again, Wembayama does not. I'm not scared of Wembayama's moves. Look, I'm trying to muscle his way against OG. The same guy was talking about, yo, I'm gonna get I don't have to put on weight, blah blah. Second season in the league, he put on weight to get stronger, and he still can't body OG and Anunoby. He still can't body OG and Anunoby. I'm telling yo, bro. Wemby's not that guy yet, bro. Let's chill out. Let's chill out. Mister had to go over to wherever the hell he went over to try to become Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Enter the Dragon. That shit ain't working, bro. What that Zen crap? Look at this. Beautiful by the Knicks. Even though I like Brunson to come in. Brunson comes set the tag. When Mayama, Cat does a good job of closing out. Cat not playing sloppy because they run the screen. They try to run the screen game. Cat shading running. Runs back. Does a decent job getting back on Wembayama. Another mystery. Make Wembayama a glorified three-point shooter. Trust. No more fouls on these ticky-tack BS. And this is the BS call here. They called against Mikal Bridges. Your man had to start trying to fish for fouls. He had no answer against. I don't care about his 24 points. He had no answer against the Knicks. He couldn't assert himself against the Knicks. Couldn't get to spots against the Knicks. Gets to spots. I take it back. He don't got no spots like that. He has limited spots on the floor for right now in terms of his go-to moves and counters. He couldn't do that. He couldn't get to the basket at ease like he did in the first half. Couldn't do that in the second half versus the Knicks. I should say even in the first quarter. Had to go and fish for a foul. Then he pushes off KMJ like he's tough. Like, bro, you are not tough. You push my hand like that, yo, bro, I'll smack the ish out of you. 7 foot. You 7 foot nothing. Weighing nothing, bro. Do that crap again, I'll smack in your face, bro. I'm holding you back because you're going to fall into me. All right, let me let you fall. You break your leg, and now the NBA's going to be mad at me because I didn't save their freaking prize jewel, man. Yo, go eat Franks. Eat girth. Get out of here, boy. Anyway, back to the game. Wembayama, Knicks a little bit late, but Mitchell Robinson, as he's getting held by Harrison Barnes. Yeah, and again, Mitchell Robinson. This is why Mitchell Robinson does not have to jump into any players in his life. You don't have to jump into anybody. Look at the length. Now, granted, he couldn't get his hand up, but it's still quick enough. You have to be scared of that hand coming in and blocking the shot. Get here again. Wembayama trying to get free. They do so much in the Spurs offense just to get Wembayama open. Now, I would actually say, I know 10 for 27 is efficient. I would say for a Wembayama-based offense, it was somewhat inefficient because of all the energy. Now, granted, here's 18 seconds, but how many times is a shot clock winding down, a shot clock close, or you're within 10 seconds, and Wembayama's finally getting a good look to shoot a mid-range shot to try to drive to the basket. I would call that fairly inefficient. Look at this. Your man, Stephen Castle, who I like a lot, holding out OG Anunoby. He couldn't shut off, but he does enough. Cat steps up, plays up on Wemby. Cat played good defense. And the thing there, all I would have told Cat, and I got to give Cat credit on this. Cat's been doing a slightly better job of trying to hand check, trying to get steals and whatnot. Again, do not play on your back feet. That's what they teach. That's what Brendan O'Connor's been teaching his defense. Don't play your back feet. Don't let them ever dictate the game to you. They're gonna call fouls. Let them call fouls. We'll deal with it from there. And the only mistake Cat made was just keeping his hands on him. If you kept your hands off him, he shoots a terrible shot. Fishing for fouls. The Knicks made Wembayama a fisher for fouls and 3-point shots, bro. A guy who's 7 feet, he's supposed to be the alien, he's supposed to be taking over the league, all that jazz, bro. He became a freaking French, I can't even call him Luka Doncic. He became, I don't want to, bro, he became a glorified foul whore. Simple as that. The Knicks neutralize this dude, bro. I don't care what they say, 10 for 20, they neutralize this dude, bro. He was not that as effective. And again, I looked at all the makes he had, a lot of makes fast, or he had catching it. Catching on closeouts, stacking closeouts. He caught Mitchell Robinson one with the fake, and then that's when he dunked on OG Anunoby, right? But a lot of his game was, hey, let me attack the closeout. He was playing more like a secondary, tertiary play in a lot of these possessions where he was actually scoring. And by the time, look at here, your man can't even hit shots. Your man was what, 1 for 7, 1 for 6, 1 for 7 from outside? Wide open shot. Whoopsies. Make him a glorified shooter. Don't allow him to get to no spots. Make him a glorified shooter. You set him from there. Look at that. Cat playing good defense. Look at that. Look at that by Cat. Give Cat. Look, man, I ain't no Cat fan, man. I ain't no Cat fan. Cat's still Terry Claw soft, but when Cat wants to play defense, you get. Oh, this boy's so annoying, bro. Look at this by Cat. Keeping his feet. Didn't jump in the air. Not going for the fake. Look at the lateral quickness by Cat. Oh, my gosh, bro. This guy.
All these words, what all these preposterous.
Yo, this guy gets on my freaking.
What is blank?
Yo, why? Why, Cat? Why do you do this, bro?
This is a sick Negro.
Why does he do this to us, bro? If Cat played 85% of his defense, bro, teams aren't running pick and rolls on us. Now, Cat, historically, or at least for the past few seasons that he's been with us, he plays better in isolation typically. Or he did last year and he did off the screens, right? Defensively. But why can't you do this consistently off the screens? And even here. Now, Cat doesn't like bigs who can actually attack the basket. He doesn't like players attacking the basket. He doesn't like to be the help. But when Cat does this, bro, it just makes you pissed. It makes you pissed. Look at this. They're like, yo, let this dude shoot, bro. They said, let this dude shoot. Game finito. It was done. Again, I'm not going to sit up here and say that's the end-all be in terms of how you should always play Wembayama. When Wembayama can get those runs to the basket, he can't close out, he can't do that jazz, bro, he becomes a different player. Make him a glorified shooter. And I got to look this up, man. I would like to look this up, like, when we look at drives per game. I guess you can't get it per game. But I'd love to see, okay, successful drives per game. Does he shoot worse? When the least amount of successful drives a game, is it where there's a zero take kind of a zero sum type of situation where he shoots better from the outside when he doesn't have successful drives and vice versa? I like to see what his numbers are, but to me, when he can't serve himself and get into a rhythm, bro, he's nowhere near as effective. And we did his last game against him. I know what his numbers say. We did his last game against him, and the driving lanes were closed for him. The Knicks played really good tag defense. Frustrate the crap out of him. And they have so many players on this team, De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Castle, who just aren't the greatest of shooters. Obviously, Devin Vassell, that's my son. Keldon, Harrison Barnes can space out the floor. But at least the latter two, not Devin Vassell, but the latter two are more so like ancillary players in terms of just how the offense is going right now. They have a lot of guys who try to get the ball and service the ball to Wembayama. And once I can't get going, man, you saw it yesterday. They couldn't space the floors. Things just fell out of whack. So I love to see those numbers if you get successful drive numbers, but I don't know how to kind of bifurcate those numbers out. So let me see. Wembayama's scared of paint unless it's free. Hey, bro. Hey, I'm not talking. I swear my life. I hope Wembayama's good. We need the NBA to be good. So don't ever take this as me trying to issue Wembayama. We need the NBA to be good. But Wembayama is not that type of dude, bro. Not now. I'm just saying. He's not that guy now. He could be in the future. You got, Olajuwon's working with the Rockets, so I don't know what's going to happen. But your man Wembayama is not that guy. Trust and believe. Trust and believe, man. Trust and obey. And I just want to give a shout out to Mikal Bridges, who's probably one of the most annoying players. By the way, thank you, dumbass Spurs. Here's the thing with Mikal Bridges. This is what the scouting report I think is. Attack Mikal Bridges as much as you can. Run him through screens. Run him ragged. Tire out his legs. The Spurs, for some reason, were not hunting Mikal Bridges on defense, which is probably one of the reasons why he had 5 steals. Not even one of the reasons why he had 5 steals. Right? And I wish I had my steals compilation. Okay, here it is. Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks. So here, sorry, if there's any... Oh, it opens one at a time. All right. Just want to show you the Spurs not attacking Mikal Bridges 1v1. Look at that. Josh Hart puts up again, trying to service who? Wemby. Pause, that sounds crazy. Trying to service. Yo, I've been saying that this whole time. No one told me to pause.
Pause.
Hey,
I say, yo, this we going.
That's crazy. I've been saying service this whole time. I apologize, y'all. I'm wild. Again, trying to get the ball to Wembayama, not attacking him on defense, trying to get the switch to Mikal Bridges. And Mikal's playing Keldon Johnson. Again, trying to get the ball to Victor Wembanyama. What happens here? Wembanyama can't push through Josh Hart. I like the fact that Knicks were doing everything to try to disrupt Wembanyama here. You see Josh Hart chip him like this is football. Again, trying to make him go through as many ringers. Mikal Bridges sees that. Easy opportunity. Gets a fast break opportunity. Gets a dunk on Dylan Harper. Again, that was the name of the game the Spurs should have been playing. Attack Mikal Bridges. Don't let him high on defense. And they allowed this boy to play off the ball. Again, Mikal Bridges' best defense is off the ball. The time that he came second, he was number 2 in defensive player of the year with the Suns. Most of his highlights was him playing off the ball, him getting steals. Right, he had some good point of attack defense, but it was off the ball that really where he shined. Right? And the Spurs played right into our hands because every play was trying to get it to Wembanyama versus, hey, let us get it to the other guys to attack their offense. And then Wembanyama will probably have a few more plays, attack their defense. And then Wembanyama will have a few more plays, a few more open plays if we get our offense going. Once we get our offense going, because now they have to hone in defensively on a De'Aaron Fox attacking the basket, hone in on Dylan Harper coming on the bench and killing us, hone in on a Devin Vassell. Right? Who can also shoot the dribble, shoot the mid-range, right? They use more of a catch and shoot score for the most part yesterday. But forcing the ball to Wembanyama played right into the Knicks' hands, allowed Mikal Bridges to do what? Play like Ed Reed in that Ravens defense back in the 2000s. Again, look at that. Cat doing a great job, and I wish I had my clicker. I do have my clicker. I just don't want to open the program up. Cat doing a great job of fronting Wembanyama. Look at this. Lazy pass to try to get that to De'Aaron Fox. Mikal Bridges, by the way, playing De'Aaron Fox, playing Keldon Johnson. A lot of switchability in this defense. So good. Another one. I want to give Mikal Bridges some more love, bro. Pause. That's yo, gosh.
Pause.
Hey, yo.
I say, yo, this we going
Another. Oh, that's the same. My bad. That's the original play. Just another. This is why I love this play. Everybody, it was like disrupt Wembanyama as much as possible. Wembanyama, they're trying to run a little Spain pick and roll. I'm pretty sure Wembanyama isn't coming to the screen. So just play this little pin down to try to trap Cat. Wembanyama tries to roll to the basket. They're not falling for it again. Look at Mikal Bridges telling Cat to stay up. Tell him to stay up. Cat running. That's crazy. Cat. Gotta give credit to Cat. Cat played good defense, man. It looks doofy. All you ask for Cat is effort. Cat, I'm not looking for you to become the Dikembe. I'm not even looking for you to become like Mitchell Robinson on the outside on the perimeter. And just give effort. That's it. What's Mikal Bridges do here? They try to throw the little entry pass to Wembanyama. He thought it was sweet. Josh is playing a little bit tag defense. Because remember, early in the game, first quarter, they ran that little play where they threw I think it was on Mikal. Or not on Mikal, on Brunson. Right? Wembanyama kind of slipped underneath to the basket and they threw the alley-oop to Wembanyama. There's nothing Knicks could do there. But the Knicks, they adjusted. You see your man Josh Hart here. Can I see the clicker? Maybe I can't. I don't know. Here it is. Oh, you can see it. You see Josh Hart here. Probably going to help out. Brunson also tagging too. Letting Julian Champagny miss 11 threes last game, man. What the fuck? It's 1 for 3 yesterday, by the way. 1 for 3, 1 for 4. 1 for 3, I think. 1 for 4 from the field. Trying to throw the entry pass to him. Mikal Bridges does a great job of blocking that, stepping up on a drive, and look at Brunson helping out. Brunson, the guy they say doesn't play deep. I'm sorry, Brunson. Josh Hart and Brunson coming to possibly tag, and Mikal Bridges comes and gets the deflection. Knicks on a fast break. Absolutely beautiful by Mikal Bridges yesterday. And just for, man, I've been getting on my son, man. I still think Donzie DiVincenzo would have been a better option. I got to see this consistently by my son, bro. My son's been really disappointed. I don't even know the main character. It's like on Succession, bro. I really want to just own my son right now. But he's making me think. Games like this just make me think otherwise, bro. It's like, all right, just be patient, man. You're doing too much. Let him breathe a little bit. I just want to show the compilation of all the catch and shoots that Mikal Bridges put up yesterday. He is shooting 38.8% from catch and shoots this season, 38% from 3 overall, 43% from the corner. He needs to get that corner shot. I need to see 50% from the corner. I need to see mid 40% from catch and shoots. You got to be reliable out there. But again, yesterday he was 5 for 9 for the most part. Most of them catch and shoots. Again, corner 3. Beautiful by him. Again, shooting 43% this season. I hate that stupid celebration. I just want him to focus a little bit more. Another play here. Brunson driving, spins, catches. Josh Hart drives, looking for Mikal Bridges all the way. Wembanyama played some. Now, they played some zone yesterday too, but Wembanyama played some really lazy defense. Mikal Bridges showing no fear, shooting on Wembanyama, couldn't block that. and that's good. Get the fuck out of here, Wembayama. Eat Franks as Mikal Bridges does the little. You know what, man? F Wembayama, bro. Do the little celebration in front of Wembayama. Bro. You got a bad attitude, son. Smack that dude up, bro. All day, man. Good on you, dude. This is New York, man. F Wembayama, bro. He's gonna be the face of the NBA, hopefully. Carry the torch ass up, man. But nah, bro. You got a bad attitude. He think he the ish, man. Let me try. I want to say eat Franks. But man, get that soft baguette. Get that soft freaking caviar, escargot eating, man. Get that French crap, no offense to French people, man. Get that soft crap out of here, bro. Disrespect the NBA like that. Talking about, I don't gotta put weight on, man. Shut your ass up. Get another play by Knicks. Offensive rebound, kick out to Mikal. No, kick out to hand off to Mikal. I love this play. This handoff play. They tried this play early in another point in the game. It was Diawara and Mikal, if I remember. But I think Diawara missed the three. Little handoff back to Mikal, who's filling himself in the game. I'm not the biggest fan of the contested shots because I don't think Mikal is a great contested shooter. I think OG's actually a better contested 3-point shooter. But Mikal, if you take it, you better make it. He was filling himself. So, you know, I'm not as opposed to it. I think he does when he struggles, he has to move away from that. Try to find other spots, try to get a little more open on some of these plays. Again, Brunson driving baseline. Wembayama was fiending to defend that. Cat. And is that a pin down by Cat? Is that a pin down by Cat on your man Stephen Cat? Hey, yo! Yo. Was that a pin down by Cat? Nah, son. They had a real 7-heaven moment in the locker room before this game. Is Cat doing pin downs? You know what used to do? No, it's not. There were two players, right? The what's they got a little discombobulated because look, you got almost 4 players. Let me see. Brunson driving baseline. Cook my son Devin Vassell to the baseline. So you got Champagny who got caught. You got Stephen Castle. Stephen Castle was on Cat on this possession. I get he was draped on Cat. He was draped on Cat. Champagny was on Mikal Bridges, right? So Champagny, you got Champagny, Stephen Castle, you got Wembayama, and you got Vassell all on Brunson. Or, well, Champagny was on Brunson, but Champagny got caught. But your man Cat is sending, it's not the greatest of pin down screens, but it's something on Vassell. He actually pushed your man. Hey, that's actually dirty. I don't know as a pin down screen. That's a flagrant. You know who used to do that a lot? iHeart, bro. iHeart used to love doing that little baseline pin down screen to get the pass over to somebody in the corner. You know, them cutting or lifting, or not lifting, reverse lifting, I guess, from the wing to the corner, to the corner to get him that shot after Brunson dribble driving and kick it out on the baseline. So, and Josh Hart would do the same thing too. So if Cat could buy into this, bro, man, this offense just becomes that much more dangerous. And I mean, I'm gonna say dangerous. Knicks, again, top 5, whatever offense, but I know. Dependable. That's that much more efficient. Getting open shots. Catching guys like Champagny with his back turned and trying to close out on a player already in the air. Champagny can't even defend that. There's nothing you can do there. So, good on Cat for sending that flagrant foul. That pin down screen. And here again, Mikal Bridges just hot right now, shooting a corner. No time. He did shoot one off the backboard. That looked terrible. As Bismack Biyama was looking in disgust at Mikal Bridges doing that stupid ass celebration. So good on the Knicks. Look, man. This is that Spurs game was a good game. A lot of things to take from it. Be able to play. Finally seeing the Knicks. Now, granted, finally seeing the Knicks play to a game plan. I think that was one of the most important things of watching that Spurs game. Seeing them be able to take down another team's top offensive player systematically. Again. He went 10 for 17. I know that's fairly efficient, right? He's better than 50% from the field. But he had a lot of easy buckets. The fake drive to the basket off that one. He became a glorified closeout guy. Depending on the 3-point shot, it just wasn't falling for him. Wasn't working for him. Once he couldn't drive past people, couldn't slip behind and run to the basket for the alley-oop, bro. He was not pulling. He was not dominant, not whatsoever. So the Knicks did a great job. Like I said, you got guys like Josh Hart chipping him. You got guys like Carlton Towns stepping up on defense. playing him straight up, putting his hands up in the air. Mitchell Robinson doing a good job of recovering. The Knicks played your man Wemby. They got in his head. Second half, they took him out at 8:34 in the fourth quarter. The game was a 12, 14-point game, if I remember. Took him out at 8:34. They weren't serious. Then they tried to bring him back in to try to, the game was already done. So, go to Knicks is fun to see a team like that tap out, bringing out their best young player when they're down big and they need a run, right? They just couldn't depend. So, it's good on the Knicks. I just need the Knicks to do this to a team like the freaking Pistons. You hone in defensively against Wembanyama, beautiful. Or disrupt this game, especially in the second half. I need to see them do that against the Pistons. I've watched the Pistons. Your man Dennis Jenkins. The guy that's over that trashy. What do you have yesterday? 8 points? What do you have yesterday? He's not that dude. What is that stupid ass app I always use? When that shows a damn, what's the names, bro? Your man Dennis Jenkins is not that dude. I even got it on X. Hold on. I talk my ass on X, bro. Man, it's not that guy, bro. St. John's or that, man. I'm a Jarvis. I'm St. John's. I didn't even go to St. John's. I love St. John's. Don't ever give me that St. John's crap. Why is my computer, everything likes to break down? No, it's not. I'm trying to get to my Twitter. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get to my Twitter. Why can't I get to my Twitter? My damn keyboard does not work. All right. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. This is what I do for my channel, man. All this equipment that ends up breaking apart. Number one mechanical was really. Why are people talking about Shamit was ripping the ball? What? This guy is slow. Ugh. I'm sorry, that's wild, bro. I just saw something in Bill Clinton. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nah. Let me show. No politics, my bad. Let me show you, man, Dennis Jenkins. People freaking, man, don't ever hype this dude. Don't ever hype this dude to me again, son. That's your man, Dennis Jenkins, bro. The fuck's going on over here, bro? Mind you, there was another game he had where he was ass. Below this. Dude's just talking about, Dennis Jenkins. Man, I don't want to hear none of that crap, bro. Just because he had that one bum-ass game versus the Knicks, now Dennis Jenkins is a bee's knees. Man, get that ish the fuck out of here, bro. You man had an 18-point game versus the Knicks. Beautiful. Voila. Great. Good for him. God bless him. Thank you. Man ain't been doing shit since that Knicks game. And like I said, there's another game that I couldn't capture here. He ate straight ass. What did he do yesterday against Orlando? Yo, man, cut all that bullshit out, man. These teams, bro. The Knicks, man, this has to be a team of destiny, bro. The cards are right in our favor, son. The Pistons are not that team. I'm telling you, bro. I'll probably watch after this. This is 10. I'll probably watch a West Coast game. I watch these. The Pistons are not that. They're not that. I swear. Jalen Duren doesn't scare me in a bit. We haven't even played Jalen Duren. It doesn't even scare me. We have to match it, and that sounds corny. We have to match the Tennessee Spurs. These teams are living off of adrenaline. The strategy was to play Cade for 38 minutes versus us, bro. We have so many weapons on this team. There's no reason why we can't shoot well. And don't get me wrong, the Pistons are a good defensive team. We can play tough. We can play tougher. We can play tougher. Play way tougher. Dennis Jenkins is not that guy. Kate Cunningham is my son. He's not that guy to be shooting threes on us like that off the dribble. Got to find a way to disrupt and get the ball out of his hands early. Tobias Harris is a guy. Tobias Harris, you watch him in the players, man. Every time I watch Tobias Harris in the players, I just hear a voice from G. Butler saying, "See, I told you so." If you know, you know. From the 76, you know. He's not that player. The Pistons are not that team. Javonte Green having this kill on the bench. Salute to your kid. God bless you. But bros, you think that's cute? Fair enough. Got you. Disrespecting us. They play up to us. We got to play up to these teams. So it is what it is. But I'm about to get out of here, man. Salute to everyone in the chat, man. Thank you for being here with me, man. I know I went through some technical difficulties. Hope you guys understood the numbers behind the Gilbert Arenas situation. And yes, we cannot. Thank you for all you guys helps in the chat, helping explain some of the stuff to some of these people, because I think some people are a little bit confused. We cannot trade a restricted free agent contract. Again, we can't aggregate anyway. If you can trade out, you can't aggregate contracts when you're above the first apron anyway. So it's impossible. But it'd be interesting to see again how the Knicks proceed, where Diawara chooses. Look, man, we can sit up, if they got him on the back end with some contracts, some money down the line. Hope he doesn't get caught. Hope Joe Smith crap happened. Joe Smith was different. It was with the Wolves and how they basically engineered it so he gets paid. Well, I guess it's similar in some regards. If anybody remembers Joe Smith, the Wolves trying to pay Joe Smith, and they lost 4 first-round draft picks. That's why KG never had a legitimate good run, good team to build around him, especially going into those late 2000s. But Diawara is up to him to decide, man. Team comes in, offering his money. It is what it is. But I see what the Knicks are doing. Not trying to offer your man too much money. Offer him too much playing time. Try to hide him away. I'm not sure if that's too smart, but I think they're confident in him being a contributor come playoff time. And again, he there's a seamless. You seamlessly could put him into many lineups. Again, you watched some of these lineups yesterday when he was out the game. It was also him, Cat, Brunson out the game, and the Knicks struggled. So we'll see. But guys. It's your boy G-Mo Legion Knicks. I appreciate you. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the dark notification bell so each and every notification, each and every video. Again, I'm going to be working on more and more content for you guys. Try to have a weekly every single week going forward, especially at the beginning of the season. Beginning of the month. So please just stay. Just be patient. Just bear with me. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are the best. Peace to God best. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We got the Raptors, so we'll definitely catch up with you guys. Peace to God best. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace, 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 peace.